Hi, you guys. I hope that you all are doing well. Today it was currently raining, so I was walking in the rain a lot today. But besides that, I do want to give you an update about myself and I want to do something new. So I'm basically going to give you a report card of how I've been doing this past week. So mentally, I would give myself probably I think maybe a B, to be honest. Like last week I was definitely at like a C minus mentally. Physically, I mean I think I'm still at a C. So overall, I guess you can say I'm still kind of at a C right now. I already have Jerry on here. Hi Jerry, how are you?
Yo, yo.
You gotta give your report card.
Oh, what? Okay. So it's just mentally, I'd say I'm at a solid A. I've been feeling pretty darn good recently. Um, yeah, just a solid A, I'd say. Physically, I think I'm at a solid. Oh, that's a tricky one for me, actually. Yeah, I'm just gonna give myself a B. I think a B is all right.
Okay. And then so overall you
Yeah,
would say you're what, at like a B plus?
sure. Yeah, the average grade comes out to a B plus.
Okay, right on. That's really good. I'm
Yep,
glad.
yep.
Sounds like you're doing well.
Doing well, yes.
For today's podcast, though, we are going to be talking about college, our college experience so far, because me and Jerry are both currently in college, and we have a lot to talk about. So let's just get into it, shall we?
Let's do it.
So, first question: what is the biggest misconception people have about college?
I have the best answer for this question right here.
All right, go
Um,
ahead.
Honestly, dude, it's the whole, when you're in elementary school, yeah, going through elementary, your teachers are telling you college is going to be this and that. You're going to have to work so hard. Your professors are going to be super tough. There's like no leeway. It's going to be the hardest thing in the world, basically. They hype it up all crazy. Once you get there, you realize, hey, this is not that bad. You have so much freedom with schedule. Well, you have some freedom with schedule. Your professors usually are pretty good people. Um, and yeah, just all around, it's a misconception that college is this like super scary thing. It's hyped up so much, but at the end of the day, it ends up being pretty chill.
Okay. That's honestly my same
Your answer?
answer pretty much. I
Yeah,
mean, I guess like in high school, I remember I was being told like there's not going to be any fooling around, like it's going to be super hard. And I mean, I maybe it does depend what your major is because I know there definitely are some really, really hard classes for very specific majors. So, I mean, definitely for some people, it's like the hardest thing in the world. But I think
true.
maybe for my major in particularly, like it's not as bad.
You know
This
what?
hmm,
Oh, I'm sorry. I
no,
will
it's
say,
okay.
yeah, yeah, definitely. Actually, that's true. And I'm also a communications major. Not that you are, but I'm just saying my major is pretty easy too. So, yeah, good point.
Yeah, I think it depends. But I mean, I think what you said definitely like I think in the beginning of college, I mean it's fairly easy, I would say. It's not anything too crazy. So, yeah, I think I would say that is the biggest misconception about college is
That's
that
right.
it's not like it's enough to handle, I think for the most part. But I mean, there are those times where it's really really hard. But
Yeah.
anyways, our next question: what's one thing you wish you knew before you started college?
You want to take the wheel on this one?
I'll take the wheel. Something I wish I knew before college was EOPS. I didn't find that out until like basically when I was like graduating from my first college. So yeah, that's just something I wish I knew. I definitely had help and guidance because I have an older sister and she kind of was telling me like where things are, what kind of things are offered to me. So yeah, I mean, mostly just the EOPS program. And for anybody who doesn't know what EOPS is it's a program that is for first generation college students, and I think it's also just for like if you have really low income as well, right, Jerry?
Yeah, I believe they help out. Yeah, I thought it was mostly an income thing. I didn't think it was a first generation student thing, but yeah, from what I know, that's a big part of it.
Yeah, I think it's both because they ask if your parents did graduate from college or if they ever went to college. So the point is that there are people that help you with resources and also just like study habits or doing financial aid or just like literally anything, like all the resources that you would need. And so they typically have extra help.
Yeah, they're actually, I think they're a really good service. They've helped me out a lot, specifically with like meal vouchers, which I use for actually, yeah, I use them for energy drinks, and it's great. And was I the one that actually told you about EOPS, or did someone else tell you?
I think, I don't know. I think
It was me,
yeah, I think it was you because like I heard about it and I was just like, oh, it's just some program, but I didn't know what it was. And then you told me you were in it, and I was like,
right?
what is that? You know?
Yeah, no, it's a great service for sure.
Yeah, I agree. So, what about you? What's one thing that you wish you knew before you started college?
Um, Let me think about this one. I'd say maybe nah, because going into it, I knew about some of the resources. Okay, you may not like this, but I don't think I have an answer for this one.
It's okay. You don't have to
Yeah,
answer.
I don't have anything. Yeah, I just kind of figured everything out. There was nothing that. Yeah, so no response for this one.
All right, no response. So, next
Tough.
question. What's the best and worst thing about being a college student?
Go ahead, Bianca.
Okay. For me, the best thing about being a college student is just the flexibility of it. I mean, you could create your own schedule whenever you want. For the most part, I know there's some maybe certain semesters where your classes are maybe later on in the day or it just works out better in the morning or whatnot. But for the most part, I have never went to school on a Friday or a Saturday, and I've only taken one night class. I don't really like night classes, so for the most part, I am in the morning, and I usually go 2 to 3 days a week. I don't think I've ever went to school 4 days a week in college, so that's what I would say is the best thing about being a college student. And also just like the amount of resources that you have. I think the two schools that I have gone to so far have done such an incredible job just helping the students any way that they can. So that's also another thing I would say. The worst thing about being a college student is the homework, the exams. Oh my God, I hate it. Um, Obviously it's very stressful and it can be very hard. So that's what I would say is the worst thing about being a college student. What about you, Jerry?
Damn. I'd have to say the best thing. Honestly, my best and worst kind of go hand in hand. But for the best, I'd say it gives you get to go around and meet new people. It's almost like a social thing. Going around meeting people in your classes, walking around, talking to strangers. Yeah, it's like I guess yeah, for me the best is the social aspect of it. I'd say the worst though is the fact that we're adults and we have to still be in school, man, and grind out all these years to yeah just to go get a higher degree and whatnot. So maybe they don't go hand in hand, but yeah, those are my answers.
Okay, right on. I mean, I don't think it's too bad. I mean, everybody's on a different path, of course. So I think it just depends like where you start because there's some people that take a break after high school and maybe
True.
there's some people that have just taken a little too long
Yeah,
getting their degree. So I think maybe it just depends. But I guess like the quote unquote, like if you did everything, I guess like the fastest possible in a way. I don't want to say like the right way, but
Mm,
if
the
you,
speedy way.
I don't know, if you went to college like right after high school, you just do your 4 years, and the master's is like what, another 2 or 3 years, and
Oh man.
then a doctorate's, well, I don't know how much is after that. I guess depends on your major, right? But
Right.
well, actually, I wouldn't know. I mean, I don't have a doctorate, but
I know, of course.
oh, okay, Jerry would know, of course.
Dr. Jerry. Yep.
Dr. Jerry. Okay, next question. How has making friends in college been different from high school?
Ooh. Huh.
Do you want to go first?
I guess. Yeah, sure. I actually. Mm, all I'd say is maybe you don't. It's not the same like, or at least I haven't had this experience. But it's not like circles. You know what I mean? In high school, you get involved with your little group or your circle. At least this was my experience, right? And yeah, you just, whoever's in that, they're your boys, your homies, and then if new people get added, you make new friends, kind of thing. Um, but yeah, in college, it's like maybe you just meet a person one on one, and then they're your homie or a couple of you guys from a class. You guys get along. Um, yeah, I would just say that. No circles. What about you?
I mean, I do agree with like the circles thing, but I would say it definitely has been harder for me to make friends in college. And actually, that's something I would like to add on to. That's something I wish I knew before college, because I remember when I went in, I was making friends in my classes and I was like, oh my God, like we're going to be talking all the time and whatnot. But then I like had a realization that if you don't have the same major as those people that you met, you most likely won't be having the same classes in the future, or you rarely will for the most part. So, yeah, I don't know. I think I really took it to heart and I was like, wow, these people, I realized they just want to get in and out, and like that's fine, get in and out and do what you got to do. But yeah, I was hoping like, man, I was going to make like some lifelong friends, and they're just like, peace, bye, like later.
Yeah.
So I think I was maybe very disappointed at that. And I think maybe from my first college, I could say I still talk to maybe 2 or 3 people like very regularly from there.
Hello.
Hello, and Jerry's one of them.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's definitely a lot harder for specifically me to make friends in
Yo,
college.
tough.
Yeah.
No, I don't think it's only you experience. I think that's definitely true. You don't see these people after, a class, and you guys maybe have each other on Instagram, but you guys don't really chat. At least that's been me with some of the homies I've made. Um, and yeah, so yeah, I second that. I second that.
Yeah, exactly. Or maybe it's like you just had to be a lab partner of somebody, and it was just something very superficial that you guys end up having.
Right.
Yeah, I'm not
Yep.
trying to. Anyways,
Yeah.
we're not gonna stir that pot right now. But
Golly. All
okay,
right.
so the next question: how do you stay motivated when your school gets overwhelming?
I have a quick response for this one too, so I'm just gonna pop in real quick. Honestly, I don't think I have a method. I just push through. I'm just like, oh, it's almost over. Only a few more weeks. It's week 12. Honestly though, haven't taken too many difficult classes. The hardest one was anatomy, probably. And yeah, I just kind of had to be like, you know what? I got to study if I want to keep my grade up. And it's not important what grade I got in that class or what happened, but yeah, I just kind of had to push through and just do it. I didn't really have something to motivate me, just thinking about it ending, I guess. So that's my answer.
Okay, all right. For me, how I stay motivated when school gets overwhelming is I just kind of go back to my why. Like, why am I here, and think about also my future of where I want to be. So that's kind of like what I come back to. And especially kind of like what you said, like, oh, it's week 12, let's say. I only have like 4 more weeks. I've put in all this work already, like I don't want to just throw it all away just because I'm overwhelmed at the moment. And also, another thing that I would do if I was really overwhelmed is, I don't know, let's say, for example, like I know I'm not doing well in a class. Talk to your professors, talk to them. They are there to help you and they want you to pass your class. They don't want you to fail. They don't want a student to have to retake the class over again. So that's something else that I would also say. I guess that helps me stay motivated is knowing that there's also professors that really truly want the best for you. So, um, yeah, I think that's what I would say about that.
Yep. True, true.
All right. Next question. What is your most memorable college experience?
Oh man. You want me to go first or you go first?
You could go first.
All right, all right. For me, honestly, it was this a few semesters ago, years ago, I don't remember. I basically went. My friend was on campus, so I just showed up to his class, and we were just goofing off, and we were like, "Hey, should I ask the professor if I could be in the class with you guys?" And yeah, so she allowed it, and it was a great time. It was just me and my homie. We made other homies in that class. It was just like four of us goofing off all the time, and it was so fun. Honestly, yeah, it was a great time.
What class was this?
It was I think it was a speech 101 class. But I had already taken this class before, so I didn't need it. And the professor was actually trying to get me in there, but I was like, no, I already took this class. I don't need it. I'm just here to hang out. So yeah,
That's actually so odd. Why would you why would you do that?
because I was just chilling. It was just a good time. I was just with the homies and we're just goofing off. It was a fun time. What can I say?
I don't think I've ever I don't think I was not expecting that. I don't think I've ever heard anybody say that.
It wasn't a hard class, and I didn't have to do the work. I just told her no, it's cool, you know. So I just showed up, um, chit chat, and yeah, no, it wasn't any more stress. Maybe 2 hours out of my day gone, but it's not that big a deal.
That's so interesting because I feel like it would be fine if it was like an art class or something. Like you went into like the ceramics room or you were in like the music room or something, but this was like an actual, well, still like educational. Well, the other ones are educational, but I
Nah,
mean, like, you know what I mean?
it was a speech 101. They were doing speeches. Yeah, some of the lectures were a little boring, but but the professor was also really cool, and so she was cool to hang out with too. Yeah, it was just a overall good time in there. I met a lot of people, um, and yeah, it was just a fun time.
Okay.
Yeah, stop judging me. Gosh.
Okay. Um, for me, my most memorable college experience so far would have to be, I'm not sure what year this was, but I know this was like in the beginning of college. So it wasn't like too long after I had just gone out of high school. So I still felt like I had kind of my personality from high school, but I was in a psych class and we were learning about Pavlov, and that's a psychologist that teaches about like conditioning dogs and stuff, right? So like whenever he rings a bell, the dogs knew that they would get fed because he would always bring out like a bowl of food or whatever. So they would start salivating every time they heard the sound of a bell. Anyway, so we were doing an experiment and I had learned this already in high school. So I was like, oh, okay, like I understand like what the professor's doing. So she brought out cups and she gave us like little lemonade packets. And she was like, okay, I need someone to give me a word. So I was just like, okay, I'm going to give her a word. So I raised my hand. Nobody was raising their hand. And I said, penis. And she
Gosh.
started laughing, and then she's like, okay, does anybody else have another word? And then someone else raised their hand and they said vagina. So she was like, okay, penis it is. So I was like, oh hell yeah, like she's a cool professor. And so every time that she said the word penis, we would have to put our finger in our mouth, and then we would put it in the lemonade mix, and we would put it back in our mouth so that we would start salivating. So she just, like, literally, my professor kept randomly having to say penis. Like, there was no way to, like, smoothly put it in. At first, she tried to. She's like, so Pavlov, who had a penis, and then, she would continue. But then randomly, she just had to say penis because she, like, couldn't keep doing that anymore. But anyway, so, of course, at the end of class, every time she said the word penis, we would all start salivating.
Dude. Dude, that's wicked, bro. God.
It's honestly probably like one of my proudest moments in class.
You're proud of that?
Yeah, honestly, I am, dude. It was just so funny. Like, if somebody
That
walked
is
in
funny.
and they just heard, like, this professor just keep saying penis, and then, we were being conditioned, like, she was conditioning us. So then, like, we just started salivating at the sound of
Did
penis.
that did that really work?
It kind of did, yeah. It kind of did work.
Oh
But,
wow.
like, it wasn't like, I don't know. It's not like, now if you
Crazy.
say penis to me, I'm going to start salivating or something, you know?
Hold on. Yeah.
So, yeah. It was
Oh
like,
wow.
it was fun. It was, cool in the
That's
moment.
goofy. Yeah.
I know, but that is such a funny memory that I have in college.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. Great
Okay.
story.
Yeah, it is a great story. Anyways, okay, moving on. How has college changed you as a person?
Mm, I don't know if uh I don't know, maybe you learned lessons. I can't say I've really No, I have changed actually. No, yes. I have a good response. I kind of like figured out my what is it called? Like being able to like talk in classes and like go up there and not be nervous type thing. I don't know. Or also like self advocating, being like, hey, professor, I kind of need this. I don't know. It kind of puts you out of your comfort zone, at least for me. And I just kind of had to learn stuff. And I think overall made me a better, I can't say person, but like, I'm more capable of stuff. I have the confidence to do certain things that maybe back then when I was like in high school, I was definitely not able to do.
Okay, that's good. So you
Yeah.
would say that your communication skills have just gotten better, and maybe
Oh
you're
yeah.
just asking for help more?
Asking for help and like I said, not to get too like personal here, but like literally, um, back when I was in high school, I remember I was the guy who the teacher would call on, and it's not that I didn't know the answer, I just didn't want to like speak up. You know what I mean? So I was like super timid, I guess, and yeah, like these days, I don't have a problem speaking loudly in class or randomly talking to my neighbor or something. Like, yeah, I don't know, like my social skills almost, I guess you could say, were the ones that were I guess boosted by college, and my confidence and communication skills as well. Yeah.
Honestly, that's a great
but
answer.
but you know what though, was it really college, or is it just like getting older and having experiences, because that could also be, but maybe a culmination of everything.
Hmm. That's
Do, 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 do.
because I was gonna say, well, I mean, because in college, I would think, well, no, you're right. Maybe it does have to be both, but I think college is a good way for you to develop more social skills for sure.
Hmm.
But
Yeah.
Okay, so for me, how college has changed me as a person, that was one of the things that I was going to say. I think communicating and maybe just also participating in class a little bit more. Like when, I don't know, a professor asks a question, that I will raise my hand and I'll try to like jump in. But that's, I guess, if I feel a little bit confident about my answer. Like if I'm not certain, then maybe I won't. But, and also, I mean, hopefully intellectually, it has changed me. There's definitely things I've learned that I just didn't know about. So, obviously, that's why I'm there to get my education. Another way that college has changed me as a person is, I guess, developing like relationships or friendships there. Kind of going back to like how it's definitely different making friends there, and I guess just like finding out like who is actually here for me, who's not here for me. um Another thing is also developing just better study habits, because I'm realizing as I still continue to go on to college that there's different ways that I can study for different classes depending on what it is. Like, let's say, for example, if it's like an anatomy class, so much of that is just like memorizing like the bones or memorizing like muscles or, whatever. And I realized, like, okay, I just like need to make flashcards basically, and like I'll be fine. But then I don't know, let's say like I'm talking about like my sports psychology or something, and I have to like create a Google Doc, and I have to write like the key points of like every lecture, or maybe I have to go back and re-listen to the lectures and just like rewrite notes in order for me to study. And there's just like so many different ways for like different classes that I've had, or like math, like I just have to keep doing problems like over and over again, and maybe I have to like redo the homework in order to study. Um so yeah, and also my last thing would be just getting better at time management, especially like this semester has tested me a lot on my time management. So yeah, I think those are very important things, obviously, that we need to learn as an adult. So I said time management, I guess learning how to study, particularly. um I've changed more intellectually, and communication is a big thing. My communication skills have gotten, well, at least I would like to say they've gotten better.
Eh,
Did you say eh?
you heard me.
Get out.
Anyway,
Anyway.
but that's really good though that you got some things down. Honestly, when it comes to like what was that like? Shoot, what was it? Oh, the intellectual side. Honestly, I can't remember a lot of stuff I've learned besides a few things maybe. Um, Only from like classes I was really interested in too. Um, but yeah, as for time management, I feel like that's still a work in progress for me when it comes to college and life and all that. But yeah, it'll figure itself out.
Yeah. I mean, it's still
Yeah,
a work in progress. I mean, I
work in
know
progress.
you still have time to transfer to another school. I've already transferred to another
Yep.
school, and just seeing the difference between my JC and like where I am now. I mean, they're different for sure.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Shoot.
But like different in terms of, I guess, like just the professors, and also just maybe the workload. And I definitely think I have more resources now, but
Really.
I mean, they're pretty similar, but I mean, there's still more, I would say.
Remind me again. How many classes are you taking at the moment?
I'm only taking 4 classes right now.
4.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay, shoot. Because I was gonna say, I thought for some reason I thought you were only taking 1 or 2 classes. So I was like, maybe you haven't been there enough to know for sure like how different it is in terms of workload or professors. Um, but 4 classes. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I just transferred, so maybe I still don't fully know, but just just based on my experience
Based
right
on, yeah.
now,
Yeah, I got you.
definitely it's different.
Oh, wow. All right.
But it's
Cool.
still like enough where I can do it, you know?
Right, right. That's good. Always a good thing.
Okay, our final question. Who was your favorite professor and why?
Oh, man. So here's my little shout out list. Um, Firstly, it'd be, I always called her Miss Libby. Oh, wait, are we allowed to even expose our professors? Yeah, we can, right?
Yeah, you can.
Okay. I don't want to say anything incriminating. So yeah, Miss Libby, she was super cool. Then there was Miss De Leon. She was really cool. Oh, Professor. His name was Cadena, but he called himself Cadena, like the I guess Americanized version. That shout out him. Who else was really cool? Oh, Professor Ree. Was he Ree? I think it was Ree.
Okay, wait, you have to say
Um.
why.
Oh, why? Okay, fine. Okay, Professor and Miss Libby. She was actually the one who I may or may not have had the class with, where I wasn't exactly a student, allegedly. And so yeah, she was really cool. Had a lot of great conversations with her. She was a really cool professor. Um, Professor De Leon, she was just really cool, really fun class. Um, then there was Professor Cadena, also just a fun, really fun class, really wacky class. So good times there. Professor Ree was the astronomy professor, and he was really a really funny guy. He was this Korean homie, and he was just really funny. And yeah, great information. I hope I didn't forget anyone whose class I really enjoyed, but yeah, I'd say maybe those are my top four. What about you, Bianca?
I like how you said top four, but if you can't remember them, then they probably weren't that memorable.
Oh no, there's probably someone that was though.
Mm.
I know I'm missing one.
Really?
Probably.
Okay. Well, that sounds like a good list. I took Professor Ree, the
Yes.
astronomy professor. He
Did
was
he?
a cool guy, but honestly, I can't remember too much, I guess, for it to
Oh,
be that
what?
memorable. Yeah. I mean, he was cool, but I mean, like, it was a cool class, but it wasn't something that, like, for real, like, impacted my life, like, completely changed me or something. Or, yeah.
He joked about his wife a lot, huh?
Honestly, I can't fully remember.
Bro, nah, you can't forget. Professor E is so cool, man.
I don't know. He definitely was the first class that I took. So that was back in 2018. So,
Oh, shoot. Okay, yeah.
I mean, I don't know. And maybe it's just like he wasn't that memorable probably in my class.
Nah, he was.
But
Anyway,
anyways, okay,
go ahead.
so for me, my favorite professors, I'm saying professors because I seriously can't pick one. So off the top of my head, there's three that I'm thinking of. One of them was a ceramic professor. I honestly don't know his last name, but I know his first name is Robert. And he taught at my first college, and he said that he also taught at UCLA. And he was just so kind. He was so awesome. And he let students go to the ceramics room and throw. If you don't know what throwing is, it's just like a ceramic term basically for like making, your pottery. There's like different types of, I guess, like doing ceramics. But anyways, that's something else. But so he would let people go and throw, and you like if as long as you took the class, I guess, he just, he didn't mind if you came in and you were still making stuff. So he encouraged the students to always make as much as they can, and he would let some of the students use his personal stuff. Like he had like personal like stamps and like other things to decorate, your bowls and your cups and stuff like that. which is so nice. And he made actual tools from throwing, and he would let us use it. And it was just so awesome. He really cared about the students to just get the most out of that class. Um, like I'm pretty sure like if I went and I was like, hey, can I throw? Yes, I did take this class. I was in your class before. He would be like, yeah, come in. Um, and another professor, his name was Professor Kowalski, and he was my physiology professor. I was so over the class, like it was so hard, but he was just such an awesome professor. He put so much effort into his PowerPoints, and he would try to make it funny and stuff like that, and he was very animated, so it definitely brought attention to the class more. Like it just made it more interesting, so I could tell like he really really tried. He really he would put Game of Thrones references in his PowerPoints, which is funny. Yeah, he was just a really cool professor, and he was someone that I had to communicate with about my grade because I was like, I don't know if I'm going to pass this class, and he like really helped me out. And so that's why I just have like a, I don't know, a deeper love for this man, because when I was graduating my old school, um I saw him there at graduation, and I was walking up the steps and he waved to me, and it was really really sweet. Why am I going to cry? I'm like gonna cry
Yeah.
right now, but yeah, because I didn't know if I was gonna graduate that semester, because I was like, this is literally the only class that's holding me back, sir, and I really need to pass this class. And yeah, he helped me a lot. Yeah, very nice man. And the the last professor that I'm gonna talk about, a shout out to Professor Harris, who I'm currently taking right now. He's my sports psych professor, and his number one goal in class is for us to have fun. Like what kind of professor says that, you know? And he just really cares about us truly. Like we are always like doing meditations in class, and he's always in 100% always encouraging collaboration. Like we all have teams, like everything's so fun. We have team names and we have team colors, and we all kind of compete against each other. And yeah, he's so awesome. He's really awesome, and he wants us to help us make sure that we're not stressed and just like how to be motivated. Like a lot of the class is obviously geared towards, you know, athletes, but also he said like this could also apply for us as well, even if we're not athletes. And I've just never met a professor who's so caring, I guess, about our well being as a student. So I could tell that he puts a lot of effort into his classes and how he teaches. Like the way he teaches is no way I've ever met another professor teach. He's also very animated too, and yeah, he's really awesome. He also gives sometimes like personal stories about himself, so we could relate it to some way of what we're talking about. Um, yeah, really, really awesome guy.
Yo, shout out Professor Harris, dude. I
Yeah.
know you've talked to me about him, and yeah, it really does sound like a really cool class. Yeah, honestly. I actually did want to bring something up though, because I forgot the most important professor, or like my favorite professor in the whole wide world. Shout out Dr. Spencer, dude. Um, uh, she sacrificed a lot for me to do well in her class, and yeah, she was just really cool. Yep.
That's good. I'm glad that, dude, that's like what I'm saying. Like, you just need to talk to your professors when you need help, because they want you to succeed. They don't want you to fail. They want you to do the best that you can, you know?
Facts.
Facts. I love that so much. And
Yeah.
I mean, I now I want to mention another professor. They're not
Go for it, dude.
my favorite professor, I would say,
Oh,
but I can say that they are a great professor, and I could tell that they care. Just it's just the details that they put in their class that you think are so little, but there's something that's so helpful. And it's my pre-cal class that I'm taking right now. And um he always goes over like what we need to do before class for the week, like what's due, and when we have an exam coming up, and it's just like a good reminder because I know there's some professors that are just like, well, read the syllabus, and like you just, when it happens it happens, but he's just like constantly reminding us of what we have to do for the week. And yeah, he reminds us again at the end of class, and he's just so good at explaining, step by step of what we need to do in class and stuff. So he's just also a really great professor, and I could tell like he really wants to help everybody in that class.
Yeah, shout out calculus. That sounds like hard math.
Yeah. Well, his
Yep.
last name is Pham, so Professor Pham.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So,
Yep.
anyways, that is the end of our podcast. Dude, I just have like so much gratitude for the professors I have said, and I don't know. I just feel good right now.
They're your what you're grateful for?
Um, that wasn't what I was gonna say. What I was grateful
Oh,
for this week, or what I'm appreciative of, but I guess going on that note, what I am grateful for that has happened to me this week is honestly probably going to my like actual gym, like not my school gym because that's where I've been going, but today I had the opportunity to go to my actual gym because I took an exam
all
this
right.
morning. I went to a coffee shop because I didn't have to go in person to take this exam, so I didn't have to go to school this morning, but I did go to a coffee shop and I got a little iced chai tea latte, took my exam. I did really well on it, so I'm really happy about that. So that just like started my day off like, I achieved something, like I put in the work and like I did it. And then I went to the gym and I saw so many people that I hadn't seen in a long time, and I say this all the time. I love my gym so much because of the people that are there, the community that is there, people that care about me, that are rooting for me, and that want the best for my well being. But of course, along with, the physicality wise of me. So, yeah, my old gym buddy was there. Shout out Enrique. And yeah, we worked out for a little bit, and yeah, we just have good banter. And why am I gonna cry? No, I'm on my period. Okay, I'm on my period right now, so I'm literally crying. But yeah,
Golly, man. Yo, shout out Enrique though.
shout out Enrique and Enrique's friend. I can't remember what his name is, but
Tough.
yeah, and honestly, yeah, I saw Vince there too, so it was nice to talk to Vince.
Nice. Did you
Um,
see Vera?
no, I didn't see Vera. Yeah, she
No.
wasn't
Breaks my heart.
there, but I did see Angel. I know you haven't met Angel, but yeah,
Nah.
Angel was there. Angel, you look so good right now.
Yo, facts, dude.
I saw Kevin there. I saw
Yo,
Pablo.
shout out my boy.
Oh my god, I'm still crying. But yeah,
Dude.
it's just the little things, like just, someone telling me like, oh, like you still look good, or like, oh, like pushing me like when we're doing a set or something, or just, having a connection.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah, I guess I just miss seeing people motivate me because at my gym at school, I mean, I'm not trying to be mean or anything, but I go in there and it just looks like people are learning how to work out. And at my other gym, there's people that know how to work out. And um yeah, I want to see, because what is it like when you're put in an environment where people are better than you, it motivates you to want to be like them, to rise up to the level with them.
Is it like a competitive thing?
Not really
Like friendly competition? No.
mm, I don't.
No.
I guess if you
Okay.
want to
Okay.
put it like that in a way, it's just like you want to be able to keep up with them, you know?
Okay. Yeah.
Like it's a way to kind of like hold you both accountable in some way, you know?
Yeah, I get you.
Yeah. So that's what I would say about that. But
Awesome.
enough about me before I keep sobbing about, whatever.
Wait, hold on. Wait, what'd you even hit today?
Today I did a little bit of legs, I did some abs, and I did cardio.
Oh man.
What do you mean, oh man?
No chest, no back. What?
No, not today. Today was
No biceps.
mostly a lower
What?
body day.
Okay. Okay. Cool. How? Man, I'm not gonna make this whole gym thing. I'll talk to you later about that.
Okay.
But yeah. Honestly, well, this probably isn't my answer for the gratitude thing, but regarding the whole like gym environment thing or friends and all that, I ran into a good like gym homie that I haven't seen in a long time, and we had a good little convo. It was nice catching up with him. Shout out my boy Gilbert. He's been grinding away, trying to be a. I'm not sure if he's trying to be an EMT or a fireman or something, but he's definitely working really hard and getting through school. So shout out him, cool guy. Always, when we talk about exercises and all that, he always gives me little tips and like, hey man, try this out. We just have great little convos. Really cool guy. I think he drove me home once, so he's definitely uh, a homie. So yeah,
Right on.
yeah, man. Um, I guess for my gratitude though, damn, I don't really have anything. I'm grateful for the chicken sandwiches at my school. They're pretty damn good.
I have PTSD from eating
What?
food at your school.
I remember what it was too. It was I think it was like a milkshake, like oatmeal or something.
It was a
Banana oatmeal.
smoothie. It was like a
Yeah,
protein
smoothie.
smoothie. And dude,
Yeah, I remember.
I was scarred. I feel like almost every single time I get something from the cafe, well, not almost. There's been like 3 occasions. Bro, that's 3 occasions too many, you know?
uh, well, I never got sick. Huh?
Huh?
Huh? Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's a you problem, dude. Maybe you make the food bad.
No, I don't know what's going on over there, but that's 3 occasions too many for sure. Like, I don't know what's
Nah,
going on.
nah.
Yeah.
All right then.
Anyways, well, thank you for coming on the podcast
Of
and
course, of course.
giving your great thoughts and whatnot.
Yep.
Um, I hope you have a wonderful night. And is there anything that you would like to say to the podcast?
Yes. So first, I'd like to say likewise. Have a good night. Um, no more crying, please. And to anyone watching the podcast who maybe got emotional, um, just use a tissue to wipe your tears away. Thank you so much. Bye bye.
Okay. um, I hope you enjoyed today's podcast. I know it definitely was a shorter one. So, but for anybody who is in college right now, I really encourage you to ask for help when you need help. Talk to your professors. Like I said, they are there to help you. And there's so many other resources that your school has if you need like tutoring or, if it's something like EOPS. I know like there's some places that give out like free Scantrons and like pencils or like, I don't know, those like little books, like if you're writing essays or whatever. And, or they give out like free food and whatnot, like stuff like that. So, yeah, just make sure that you know what's available to you. And like I said, ask for help when you need it. So, anyways, that is enough for me. I hope you guys have a wonderful night, morning, afternoon, whenever you listen to this, and I'll talk to y'all again soon.